Jones on Miller. McKee gets it in the middle for the win.
And he got middle, just what I thought. A hook shot as well. Good!
Inside. Unbelievable. Julius Irving.
A shot on him. Good! The Bulls win!
Welcome back, Oakland, California. Marv Albert, Danny Ainge with the Czar. Mike Fratello, a sensational field coming up in the slam dunk competition. Certainly Vince Carter of the Toronto Raptors is the favorite. You can make a case for all 6 contestants. We'll open up with Larry Hughes of the Philadelphia 76ers. Oh, Larry Hughes not able to hit on that first slam dunk opportunity.
Well, you get one miss in the first round, so that's all right. You only take your top 2 scores, but he's got to be a little bit more cautious now, and that takes away a little bit of your aggressiveness.
Unanimous of 30, which is actually the minimum.
Well, at least Kenny Smith got that one right.
Yes, he did.
Well, you know, that was an easy one, but I thought he had some creativity. If that went down, he could have got a nice score from me, but it didn't go down.
And here is Tracy McGrady of the Toronto Raptors, drafted out of high school 3 years ago. 6'8", 210 pounds, 20 years old. Oh, spectacular stuff by Tracy McGrady. What a way to open up.
He almost didn't get the ball up high enough. He was waiting for that thing to bounce and come up a little bit higher. He had to reach down, grab it, then curl it back over the top.
It was a much better dunk than it was pass. Like you say, Mike, he can't pass, but he can sure dunk.
Kenny, what's going on in your thinking process?
I really like that. I like the elevation. I like the creativity. However, he didn't get the ball up high enough on the dunk, so he was kind of low once he caught the ball, which makes the dunk a little bit easier, guys, over there. Like, Danny would know that. Danny would definitely know that.
Hey, Kenny, I think that's crazy. I think that dunk that low, that's a lot harder if you got to bring it down from your knees.
Well, you know, once the ball is up there, then you catch it, bring it back down, and go up. Then I would have been a little more impressed. But he got a high score from me. Got a very high score.
And that score is, all right, 9s right throughout. All right, Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets up next. Incidentally, we are unveiling a jump meter tonight, a new technology that instantly measures the height that each player reaches when dunking. Oh, Steve Francis answering Tracy McGrady. Wow.
I can't tell you for sure what's going on in his head, but I'm not sure that when he got up there, he just couldn't decide whether he wanted 2 hands or 1 hand to finish it.
Well, it didn't matter. The guy was up so high. What's the dunk meter on that ball? That had to be 11 feet. Look at this guy right here. He doesn't even catch the ball clean. He doesn't have very big hands. The ball rolls down his wrist, and he still dunks it.
I want to hear how Kenny judges this pass now.
And you see the difference between catching it higher and catching it lower. He was up. He had to go get it. But it was very similar, as you were indicating my scoring, it was very similar. Tracy McGrady had a great dunk, but this was just as special.
Look at it, he dunks it with his wrist. He doesn't even have the ball in his hand.
And you see the jump meter, which displays the in-flight trajectory of the successful slam dunk. All right, so Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets with an impressive start, and here is the man that this crowd wants to see. Vince Carter, who had told Kenny Smith that he has 4 dunks that no one has ever seen.
Hey, there's guys moving back on the sideline, NBA players, when he's coming. I don't understand this. This guy is making everybody move back, and he's going to take off on the free throw line at the beginning now. I'll just lose it right here. I lose it right now, Danny.
All right, here is Vince Carter with his first shot.
Let's go home. Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home.
Hey, that is a reverse 360 going against the grain. That is unbelievable.
I'm expecting Kenny to say he double dribbled on that one.
Hey, my goodness, you know what I'm saying? Let's just sign the check over. Let's go home, call it a night. Let's see who's going for second place.
Vince Carter, 36 inches on the jump meter, and perfect on the scoreboard.
That might be one of the 4 we had not seen, ladies and gentlemen.
That might be number 1. That might be in your top 4 all time, Kenny.
Hey, Michael, move over. Somebody's coming to get your best dunk ever.
Well, Jerry Stackhouse, following a very tough act.
It's like coming up to bat after Babe Ruth or something. It's a tough one to do.
Yeah, that was a pretty good dunk, but now he's probably going to get 7s and 8s.
You can't, you said after Babe Ruth, it's like you can't come after Babe Ruth. You don't go singing after Michael Jackson. There's certain things you just don't do. And right there, he's got to have to get a lower score just on crowd approval alone.
He should have done the dunk while Vince was getting his interview, done the sneak quick one.
How about Vince Carter saying that he was winging it? Not bad for a guy winging it the first time out of the box.
29 inches on the jump meter there for Jerry Stackhouse.
And Eddie Jones, the Charlotte Hornets teammate of second-year man Ricky Davis, who replaced the injured Antoine Jameson of the Warriors, will go the final entrant.
And in this first round, you must use a teammate for at least one of the dunks. So he's using his teammate, Eddie Jones.
All these guys are now following a very difficult act. Nicely done by Ricky Davis. But everything seems to pale after we see Vince Carter.
Anticlimactic after that. The whole place came down. What do you do next?
Hey, you know what, guys? I don't understand why all these guys have all these shooters being their passers. You know, where's David Wesley, Eric Snow? Where's these guys? These are the guys that give him the ball all night. He brings out Eddie Jones, who wants to take more shots than he does. I don't understand it.
So the tally on Ricky Davis is 40. And I look at the first round after the opening dunk. Vince Carter perfect with his 50, followed up by Tracy McGrady and Steve Francis. Back with much more, including Vince Carter's second dunk when we return. We welcome you back to the Bay Area. People are still buzzing about last year's Rookie of the Year, Vince Carter, showing us perfection with a 50, 45 apiece for Tracy McGrady and Steve Francis, as Vince Carter will work with Tracy McGrady. All right, here's McGrady. Once again, able to windmill it home. Tracy McGrady with a couple of impressive dunks.
Kind of a low pass again, though, Kenny. Didn't get that ball up high enough. We haven't really seen what Tracy McGrady's capable of doing, as spectacular as that was.
Yeah, Vince Carter, not a passer. Where's Muggsy Bogues for this pass? But that's still impressive.
Impressive. His head is at the rim. Look at this.
You know, I've never had the pleasure of being up that high, knowing what it's like to be there. So,
see, he would have gotten a 10 out of me if I hadn't seen the Vince Carter dunk.
Oh, Kenny.
He would have got, but it wasn't the same as the Vince Carter dunk. So that's the precedent. Vince has to come higher than that to get another 10 from me.
Well, 36-inch vertical lead. The other 4 judges going with 10s. Only Kenny Smith showing a 9.
It's that North Carolina tie right there. He doesn't want to give Tracy. That's bad judging.
No, he set the precedent what a 10 is. I don't know what it is.
So you're telling me that if Vince Carter doesn't do as good as that first dunk, he can't get a 10?
He cannot get a 10.
All right.
Maybe we should have just given Vince an 11 or a 12 on the first dunk.
Steve Francis of the Houston Rockets, who opened up with a 45 on his first stuff.
I predict a 50 right here. I'm going out on a limb. I predict a 50, Kenny.
I like it so far.
Francis. Oh! It appeared that the bounce was behind his head, but able to save it and put it home.
He almost overruns the basketball. The ball winds up further behind him than he anticipated. Here he gets going. The ball stays behind. Let me reach back, grab it, and finish.
Whoa.
What do you have for us over there, Kate?
Oh, I got to give him the 10 on that one, ladies and gentlemen, because, like you said, the ball is so far behind him that he actually hits his ankle with the basketball. Watch it hit his ankle. He's going to come back. The jump meet is not 38. They must be wrong because that has to be over 38.
All right, and here is the second dunk of the night for Vince Carter. And Vince adding to the repertoire.
Well, we've just seen a new out-of-bounds play for the Toronto Raptors.
You know what's so impressive is you see Kevin Garnett, Jason Kidd, Darrell Armstrong, all these guys that can really run and jump. They're in awe of what they're seeing.
Vince Carter finishes with a 49, and the reason is Kenny Smith, the only judge not to award a 10.
And
What's
he's
going on
looking at me
there?
because I told you he set the precedent with the first one. That would have been a 10 any other time but
Guys,
today.
you know, I think that Kenny is out of the pages of Eugenia Williams, who was the judge in the Holyfield-Lewis fight, who claimed that she was screened out.
This is just the early going. We'll see what he could do. I'm not impressed anymore.
All right, Grant Hill with teammate Jerry Stackhouse. That was delivered on target, but Stackhouse not able to put it down.
And you know what's bad? Catino Mobley right now is really mad at Grant Hill and Stackhouse because that's the one they had saved for Steve Francis in the finals.
That was very good. If it would have gone down, it could have been close. Could have been close. Because Grant Hill is definitely not the passer on that team.
So what you're saying is they made the decision easy for you this time.
And you know what? They had Duke and Carolina working together. I should have given him a 7, even though I can't give him a 7 on that. Just with Duke and Carolina was together on that.
And after 2 dunks in round number 1, Vince Carter in very good shape. We'll be right back. Actually going through the motions, our mathematicians have just figured out it is impossible for anyone to catch Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and Steve Francis. That will be the final 3.
So basically, those 3 players should save their best dunks for the next round.
Does not have to do anything extraordinary, but he does!
Oh!
Tracy McGrady with the hat trick. 3 sensational dunks.
Oh, man.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Basically, the winner of the competition has the best poster dunk this evening because that one's going to be up on somebody's wall, just like Neek is, just like Michael Jordan, just like Spud Webb. The winners, they make a poster of their best dunk, and everybody's out there buying it and hanging it in their room.
10 is not enough, man. This is, Danny, this 10 is not enough. So we have to kind of separate it now, like 10.1. 10.2. We need the points because this is impossible.
I think we tried to tell you that earlier.
A very impressive line for Tracy McGrady, perhaps a message for the competition as he heads to the final.
Well, Tracy got a 50. The interesting thing is he got a 50 without it. The strategy coming into the finals is going to be, do they want to use their teammates as passers and jumpers? And now Francis and Mobley right here, they had planned to do the lob, jump over the top of Mobley, one that Grant Hill.
Well, maybe they'll use it because they didn't finish it, the other group. Stackhouse and Hill really never got it done, right?
Right, so it might look impressive to do it just to get it out of the way.
He's going to do it. No, he didn't bend down. I thought he bent down.
Good idea, but not able to cash in.
Didn't matter. He's in the finals anyway.
This the finale on the first round for Vince Carter, who has assured himself a spot in the final.
But see, that's show. I'm sorry, Mark, but that's a showman. Coming out anyway, he and Steve Francis and Tracy McGrady, these guys are going to still try to do something spectacular.
Oh, it did not.
It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
The judges are coming over the table to congratulate Vince Carter. This is unheard of.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It is over. Did I call it, Danny, or what?
Hey, Tracy McGrady, he doesn't even know what to do. He's walking away. He plays with this guy every day, and he's in awe.
Another look.
Whoa.
Hey, Danny.
Hey, Kenny, he's got 3 of your top 5 all-time already.
But what he told me before the contest, he said he watched all of these dunk contests. He was going to take a little bit of someone else, a little bit of Dominique, and put them together. So he put the Isaiah Ryder with the Spud Webb and threw it the bounce pass and threw it to himself and dunk it. Impossible.
And a 37-inch vertical leap. Vince Carter with a spectacular show. So headed to the final, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and Steve Francis. More excitement to come on the slam dunk competition. And now we come down to the final round of an event that will be remembered. Each competitor will have 2 dunks with or without a teammate. Vince Carter looking to psych out Steve Francis. All right, here's Francis with his first.
Not good enough, pretty good dunk, but that wasn't as good as the one he bounced and did that same action off of.
And you have to believe that Vince Carter has the advantage of the crowd going wild with every one of his opportunities.
Reminiscent of Michael Jordan doing something similar years ago. Dominique using that same one from the side, where they come from the left side, bring it back, scoop it down and up, and then finish with the dunk.
We still have to remember that Stevie Francis is only 6'2.5". And those dunks are very impressive, 6'2.5".
With small hands, too. He can't even palm a basketball. I was in the locker room with him before the game. He cannot palm a basketball.
All right, the total 43 on the first dunk for Steve Francis.
I guess I'll finish with that one.
Now, Tracy McGrady. He's 20 years old. He'll celebrate his 21st birthday in May. A man who will be a very sought-after free agent following this season.
I don't know about you guys, but this is exciting right here. Watching Tracy Vincent and Steve Francis, this is awesome.
All right, McGrady with another gorgeous windmill.
Kenny, I don't know about that pass. The pass just kind of took a little bit out of that dunk.
A little bit out of it. You know, it was great. It was a great dunk, but right here, he shouldn't have looked back. He said something to somebody. I think that threw his concentration off.
Each of the judges going with a 9 for a total of 45 for McGrady on his first dunk in this final round, which brings us to Vince Carter. All right, Vince Carter with his first on the final round.
Ladies, wait, time out. Can I take a timeout?
Have we ever seen that before?
Can I take a timeout?
Well, I saw him rubbing his upper arm, and I was wondering what he was doing. He was just cleaning it off, making sure there was nothing slippery there, because he knew how far into the rim he was going.
Wait a moment, Dan. Have you ever seen that?
I've never seen that before. I'm not sure the guy can't go in through the rim head first.
Hey, let's see if there's a trampoline out there when he's doing this stuff. The mascots left the trampoline out there, I think.
You know, we used to hear of people taking quarters off the top of the glass and maybe leaving change. That's about as close as you will come to seeing that. That was unbelievable.
Tell me Butch Carter to just fall off his chair when he sees this guy hanging up on the rim like that, worried about his shoulder.
I don't think they have an alley-oop play in Toronto. What you doing up there, Butch Carter? Wait a minute.
Make that another 50 for Vince Carter. Tracy McGrady with a 45. Steve Francis with a 43.
You got big numbers with that one. Big numbers.
That's awesome.
So the crowd responding to Steve Francis. Let's see how the judges respond.
Well, I had to give him a 10 ball. You know, it wasn't a sympathy 10 either. This guy really went up and got this. He could have said, I'm just going to lead the competition, but he goes up, cocks it between the legs and throws it down.
That's unbelievable, guy. Yeah, I mean, he's 6'2", but he doesn't have short arms or big hands. I mean, that is awesome what he just did right there. This would win. This guy would win it a lot of years.
Kenny, you have become more and more compassionate as the competition has moved on.
Well, you know, he did a great job. You had to give him the props for that one. Putting it through his legs, coming back. But this young man, I think, has something in store for us, too. Let's go!
And McGrady not able to connect.
The
Does that count?
So that will do it for Tracy McGrady. And it will come down to Vince Carter, who opened up with a 50 on his first slam of this final round.
Danny, how high do you think he tries to bring his difficulty up here on the last dunk? Obviously, he's got to finish it off. He's got to make the basket at the end, but then how much they add to it?
Now, Vince Carter needs 42, just a 42 for the victory. McGrady got a 32 on that second attempt for a 77, so he will finish third. Carter has put up a 50, a 49, a 50, and a 50.
Half man, half amazing. You know you're good when the contestants come to the other side to watch you. That's truly meaning that you're half man, half amazing. Vince Carter, the NBA dunk champion. I'm crowning him right now, Mom.
They are standing here at the arena in Oakland. Here comes Carter and puts it down.
He goes two hands from the free throw line instead of one.
As we said, needs only a 42 for the victory.
Well, that'll get 42, but Kenny better not give him a 10 this time.
I think that was a smart dunk. That was a smart safety dunk.
Absolutely.
He elevated, he took off close to the foul line, but he knew what he needed to win. That's a smart dunk at the end to get the championship.
And it's a great dunk, two hands from as far as he jumped off, but it was very safe, and he's saving something for next year.
You know what, Danny? That was a 9, but I owed him one, so I gave him a 10.
And here is Vince Carter, who is the champion of the NBA.com slam dunk competition. Carter concludes with a 98. Here's Craig with Vince.
All right, Vince. Flying, skying, swooping, but hanging by your elbow on the rim. What was the best dunk you think of the day?
I don't know. I like the bounce with between the legs, because that was the first time I've ever done that. That was off the fly. I thought about it right before I went, and I'm just happy I made it. But you know, it feels good right now. I'm just shocked.
Before that final dunk, you knew you had it won, but still a spectacular dunk. Two hands from the foul line.
Well, not quite the foul line, and you know, I like to get that opportunity to try that again. You know, but it feels good right now. I mean, I think everybody did a great job, and you know, I'm just happy to win.
Presenting the award to our champion at center court is NBA Commissioner David
the
Stern.
slam dunk competition has made its return in a big way. The early line favorite, Vince Carter of the Toronto Raptors, coming through with a sensational performance, and he is the NBA.com slam dunk champion.